Do you know that the word content appears over 70 times in the Bible, often linked to finding peace and satisfaction in what you have? Contentment is a state of mind that we all striving for, yet it seems elusive in our fast-paced world. The Bible has a lot to say about being content, and it's fascinating to explore its teaching on this topic. In today's society, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle and feels like we are constantly comparing our lives to others. We scroll through social media, see the highlights, reels of our friends and acquaintance lives, and can't help but feel like we are not measuring up. This can lead to a sense of discouragement and discontentment, a feeling that you are not satisfied with what we have. The media also plays a significant role in fueling our discontentment. Advertisements constantly tells us that we need the latest gadgets or fashion trends to be happy. We are made to feel like we are not complete without these things, and that can be really damaging to our mental and emotional well-being. It's not just about the big things either. Sometimes it's the small thing that can trigger feelings of discontentment. Maybe you're stuck in a traffic jam or having a bad headache. These little feelings can add up and make us feel like we are not satisfied with life. The struggle is real, and it's sometimes that can all we face at some point or another. So how can we find contentment in a world that constantly telling us that we are not enough? The Bible has some powerful insights on contentment. In Philippians chapter 4 verse 11 to 13, the Apostle Paul writes, I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength, which is our Lord Jesus Christ. This verse shows us that contentment isn't about our circumstances, it's about our relationship with God. When we focus on Him and trust in Him and in His vision, we can find peace and satisfaction no matter what's going on around us. In 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 6 to 8, it says, But godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. These verses remind us that true contentment comes from a place of simplicity and gratitude. When we focus on what we already have, rather than what we do not have, we can find a sense of peace and satisfaction. I have personally experienced the transformative power of contentment in my own life. I used to be someone who always wants more money, more possession, more recognition. But when I started to focus on what I already had, rather than what I did not have, I began to feel a sense of peace and satisfaction that I will never experience before. It's not to say that I never feel discontentment anymore, but I have learned to recognize when I am starting to feel that way. and to bring my focus back to what really matters. So, what are your key principles that can take away from the Bible teaching of contentment? First, contentment is not about our circumstances, but about our relationship with God. Second, simplicity and gratitude are key to finding contentment. And thirdly, contentment is a choice that we can make, regardless of what's going on around us. If you have struggled with contentment in the past and want to hear about it, share your story in the comments below, and let's encourage each other to find peace and satisfaction in what we have.